Hola compadres y mamacitas, it's Peter and bienvenidos to another episode of Game Over. If you don't know what Game Over is, it's a show where I talk about an iconic character that's been crushed by their company and, well, haven't seen the light of day, and if they're brought back to life in today's gaming market, will they survive or not? An amazing example of this is Mega Man from Capcom, but we're going to save him from another time. This episode, we're going to talk about Rare's bear, Banjo. Before I talk about Banjo, I want to talk a little bit about Rare. It's the 1990s, and Rare was making great games such as Battletoads, and Nintendo was super impressed. And in 1994, they came to the conclusion of, what should we do? I don't know, buy 49% of the company, make them a producer, slap our official seal on the games they make, and bring us in the dinero? That's what they did. From this, Rare changed their name to Rareware and made two of the most beloved games for the Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong's Quest. At the end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle, Rare wanted to make another game, but the Super Nintendo didn't have the horsepower to make the game they wanted. Soon after Nintendo was born in 1995, Project Dream was in the works. But anyway, this video is called Game Over Banjo Kazooie, not the history of the company who was bought out by the company who was all about
television, TV, for Call of Duty.
To conclude this, Project Dream was ultimately cancelled and reworked into this amazing treasure. Are your ojos picking up what you're looking at? Because my sexy compadres y mamacitas, this is Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie is a single-player platforming game in which the player controls a bear named Banjo and his bird named Kazooie. Now the story goes like this. Banjo and his sister Tooty live in Spiral Mountain in a nice little casa. The game's antagonist Gruntilda, an ugly sinful witch, wants to become beautiful. So Disputa sees Banjo's sister is the most Wait a second. You're jealous of a bear? And not another a bear. At the end of the game, there's a lady with sandías and her tetas are flying all about. And you say, oh, bear to the next top model. Yo quiero also tetas. Okay. So other than Gruntilda being a furry, she creates a machine which can transfer a person's level of beauty to another. So after she kidnaps Tooty, it's up to Banjo and Kazooie to burst into Gruntilda's lair and rescue Tooty. Now the mechanics of the game are pretty simple. The game splits up into 9 open levels where the player must gather music notes and jigsaw pieces, or jiggies, in order to progress. These jiggies open up all new kinds of levels, kind of like what the stars did in Super Mario 64. During those levels, Banjo uses Kazooie to fly, jump, and shoot eggs. Banjo can even turn into a termite, a bee, a pumpkin, a walrus, and a crocodile with his friend Mumbo to explore the levels even more. It's basically a collectathon. This game can be long or short. You don't really need to collect everything to win, but when you do, it's rewarding. This game did so well, mainly because it was in the golden age of Nintendo. IGN even gave this game a 9.6. This is before they hired idiots to rate games, so you knew you could trust them. Seriously? Little gameplay in a visual novel? Anyway, Banjo Kazooie was a phenomenal game. The controls were amazing. The atmosphere was breathtaking. And the music was wonderfully done by Grant Kirkhope. Fans loved this game. It was perfection. And this left fans thirsty like boys on a prom night for a sequel. And 2 years later, the most anticipated sequel was born. In the year 2000, fans were presented something amazing and wonderful. And that, my compadres y mamacitas, was Banjo-Tooie, an amazing sequel, and in my opinion, better than the first. Now let's see the plot. 2 years after the first game, Banjo and Kazooie are just relaxing, playing some poker with their friends Mumbo Jumbo and Bottles. Bottles is the mole in the first game, I didn't mention of whatever, but it doesn't matter. All is fine until Gruntilda's sisters, Mingala and Balbina, arrive at the boulder that crushed Gruntilda in the first game. Long story short, the sisters dug her out and decided for revenge they're gonna blow up Banjo's house. They don't kill Banjo, they killed Bottles, so well, whatever. Banjo and Mumbo are tight though, and they're like, we're not having this, so they decide to end this once and for all. They follow the witch's trail and end up in Island O' Hags. Now this hub is very different from the first game. There's no more climbing up a huge mountain but a singular board, and the singular board has a temple where the Jiggy Wiggy resides. When the player has enough Jiggies, a time puzzle competition will be issued. If the player wins, then the Jiggy Wiggy will grant access to another world. Each puzzle requires more Jiggies than the last. There are a total of 9 worlds, not counting the hub world and the tutorial, and these levels are crafted extremely well. Not only that, but music notes can now be exchanged for new moves. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You can grab on the edge of a cliff, and even go a full COD Call of Duty with Kazooie and make her a gun. Oh my god! No way! That's right! Get no scope! Get no scope! Both of these games are Nintendo 64 classics and loved to this day. And at the end of Banjo-Tooie, fans were teased for a third game, but the Nintendo 64's life cycle was coming to an end. What was next for Rare? During Space World 2000, a little teaser was shown of what the next Banjo game would look like. Fans were super excited, but sadly that excitement would die off. On the very sad day of September 24th, a bidding war between Microsoft and Activision finished on who would own Rare. Microsoft paid $375 million to own 100% of the company. Activision nor Nintendo couldn't even compete with that price. However, this wasn't the end for Banjo being with Nintendo. In August 2003, Rare and Microsoft made a deal with THQ for Rare to publish games for the Game Boy Advance, since Microsoft really didn't have a handheld system and they still don't. And this, my friends, is where the next Banjo game was to be born. Nuts and bolts. Oh no, compadres y mamacitas. We ain't there yet. First to come for the Game Boy Advance is Banjo Kazooie Gruntilda's Revenge. It came out in 2003 and it's a handheld action-adventure game. It's a spin-off from the Banjo Kazooie series, and it takes 2 months after the events of Banjo Kazooie, so it's a prequel to Banjo-Tooie. But sadly, not a lot of people know about this game due to the lack of promotion from THQ. And it's not a bad game at all. It's pretty fun. It's a banjo to go. Anyway, the story is like this. Gruntilda is made into a robot, kidnaps Kazooie, travels back 20 years in time from keeping the duo from ever meeting, which prevents her defeat. Mumbo Jumbo uses his magic to send back Banjo, and he tries to stop her. Same as the previous game. You have to collect jiggies to open up new worlds, you have to collect music notes and all that stuff. So it's pretty much a collectathon like the previous games. It was simple, fun, it had its flaws, but when you overlook them, it's a great game if you haven't played it yet. Next up is Banjo Pilot. It's Mario Kart with planes. Yay. I mean, it's fun. It's not really canon or anything, but I mean, if you want to play it, play it. But not really missing out. A few years later, fans were teased of a new Banjo Kazooie game, and everyone was super excited. I was even thinking about getting an Xbox just to play this game. And the company of the next-gen water cooler presented the world with Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
No! God, please, no!
And you know, it's not a bad game.
No, 1 second, please. What did she say? Repeat yourself.
Now, calm down. I probably angered the 6 people who watched this video, but hear me out. Just because a game is different doesn't mean it's bad. Prime example is Zelda 2. It's hated because it's different. It's not like the same. It's not like Zelda 1. You have to do spells. You gotta talk to people. Why? Calm down, okay? Now, Nuts and Bolts is not on Zelda's level, nor is it an amazing game. It's just not a bad game, and it's hated for the wrong reasons. It got decent reviews, but it just didn't go over well with the fans. It's not what they wanted. Well, surprisingly, Banjo Kazooie sold over 140,000 units by the, at the end of 2008. And it also achieved platinum status, which means it sold over 400,000 units in the first 9 months of release. So, why is it hated? Well, let me tell you why it's different first. Greg Miles, Rare's creative director, stated, "The genre is too stale, it needed shaking up, so we're gonna try to do something different, but within the same framework of a traditional Banjo game." Wait. Platformers are stale? I'm sorry, what? I know you can't look into the future, but Super Mario 3D World got 9s and 10s. Even by IGN. Hallelujah peanut butter, I mean, they did something good for once. And it's in the same traditional platformer. You shook things up wrong. Something shook it up should have been like Wind Waker. It's different from other Zelda games, but it's still within the same framework. But regardless, let me tell you about Nuts and Bolts. It's been 8 long years since the end of Banjo-Tooie, and Banjo-Kazooie kind of let themselves go. Down the line, Gruntilda's skeleton appears and is about to go ham against Banjo-Kazooie when they're interrupted by the Lord of Games. The Lord of Games says, "Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I'm done with you two fighting, okay? We're gonna do a little challenge. Whoever wins gets Spiral Mountain or loses my slave. And now your challenge will consist of collecting as many pointless objects as possible." I'm sorry, what? You're gonna poke fun at collectathon games? Now this is what bothers me most about the game. It's not the gameplay. See, for a game where you had to go around, collect car parts, or mostly vehicle parts, build your vehicle, race it, fly it, and get the jiggies, it did a great job doing so. It's just this jab. You don't jab at something what your game's all about. When the new Zelda game comes out, you don't see Mr. Miyamoto saying, "Oh, you know, Zelda game, no Skyward Sword controls has a bad." No, you don't. After that, the Lord of Schmuck says, "Okay, let me tell you something. Gamers today just want to shoot things." Well, it's really true and pretty sad.
That's right, get no scope!
After that, the Lord of Games transports the characters to Showdown Town. This is the hub center. This is where you're going to build your vehicle, get your car parts and all that stuff, and for the most part, get your jiggies. Now look, I can go on for days talking about a game. Look at my Mega Man Zero's awesome video. It's 20 minutes long and it's only talking about 2 games and it's only one part. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about video games, head over to the Game Direct. Now we've only talked once, but her videos are amazing. She goes into details about every single game in a franchise, and her Banjo Kazooie videos are stunning. So compadres y mamacitas, go over there and show us some love. Now I told you a little bit about Banjo's backstory, about what the games were like, the mechanics in them, his moves and such. And now we move on to the time. Is it really game over for this bear? What could I say? Banjo, my friend, what could I say? Can you survive in today's market? Before I give my judgment, Microsoft did do some justice. They released Banjo Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie on the Xbox Live Arcade and polished it up. However, I don't see Banjo coming back for the Xbox One. The Lord of Games did say something. Gamers just want to shoot things. And I know I jab at Microsoft way too much, but honestly, when you release a new console and your focus is on Call of Duty, I think you are a little too afraid to try something new. You want to just please the demographic. If Banjo does come out, gamers today would be like, hey, I just shot 3 of those Scapagazone tomatoes. Where's my airstrike? It's not gonna appease to the I don't even think that's a word. Whatever. The demographic is not gonna like it. So I don't think Rare would want to attempt at another Banjo game. But what if Nintendo could just get Banjo back? And Conkers, but let's not be too greedy. Banjo would thrive with Nintendo. And I'm not just saying this as a fanboy. Look, I know, Nintendo's not doing so well right now. The Wii U was a flop. The 3DS is losing sales. Yada, 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 yada. Peter, why don't you get an Xbox One? Okay, listen. This is about Banjo, not about what games I play. Banjo could do so well. Look at Wind Waker HD. An HD remake that is selling a lot of copies. A Banjo HD remake? I would play it. I would love it. I loved how Banjo looked in Nuts and Bolts. I would love to see a HD version of Banjo with the Wii U. Or maybe on the 3DS. Maybe Banjo could be in the next Super Smash Bros. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Unlike Mario, which is the same typical platformer, which is a few additions, Banjo has a lot of things. He can fly, Kazooie can shoot eggs like a gun. You know, you could probably add a little bit of Nuts and Bolts. Like, you can create stuff. Maybe you can create, like, different mechanics for Kazooie to do some little first-person shooters to shut the demographic up. But honestly, it's not game over for Banjo. People can still make an amazing platformer game with Banjo. It's just in Rare's hands. Let's pray to the 3 goddesses of Hyrule that maybe Nintendo can get Banjo back. And maybe we can get a real Banjo 3. Compadres y mamacitas, once again I want to say thank you for watching this video. Like I said in the past, when you watch these videos, money is made. Money is automatically donated to Alzheimer's research. At the end of the month, I keep none of the funds and I play for charity. And I also want to throw in another huge thank you to you guys, because this month I got a card in the mail stating that I am now a champion of the Alzheimer's Committee. That means I have spread enough awareness and raised enough money that I'm considered champion status, and this is all thanks to you guys. I'm like holding back the tears, as you don't know how much this means to me. Alzheimer's affected both sides of my family. It probably affects your family, God forbid. But, you know, hopefully helping me raise this money. You know, we're fighting for a good cause. Down the road, I want to do more charities, and like I said, this is all for charity. I'm not doing this for personal profit. I don't care even if I make $1 bajillion. It's not my money to keep. It's for the ones who really need it. And this is all with your help. So if you want to continue help supporting my message, all you guys got to do is just like this video, subscribe, retumble, tweet, do whatever you can to help spread my message. You guys did it great for the Animal Crossing video, so if you want to help me again, I really appreciate it. I also have to throw another 2 huge thank yous. I want to thank my friend Happy Dragon. I know I thanked him last video, but I mean, me and him have something really great planned for you guys, and he's giving me the motivation just to continue keep on working. And I also want to thank Loudy. It was a great Phantom. You know, all the skeleton and angel you saw was done by that fan, so I want to give a huge thank you to that. For a fan to help give me fan art and all that stuff to help in my video, I really appreciate it. Also, guys, like I said, don't forget to check out the Gamers Direct. Her channel is amazing, and that's pretty much it, guys. We're gonna change the world, guys. I mean, I know I can't do much by just raising a little bit of money, but this month alone we raised $200. That $200 is gonna help a family out there that needs Alzheimer's, and down the road, hopefully I can start donating to St. Jude. In March time, I'm shaving my hair for St. Baldwin. I really want to create change in this world, and this is all possible with you guys. I love you all, even the haters. No matter what they say to me, I'm gonna keep on standing up, keep on going strong. Guys, never give up on your dreams. I never thought I would be 5 years ago. It's because in February it's gonna be my 5th year on YouTube. That means I have something planned, don't worry. But 5 years ago, I never thought I was gonna make money for Alzheimer's, and last year alone, the last 3 months, I raised over $1,000 to a cause that devastated my family. Never give up on your dream, guys. I know I'm not the best at making videos. I know I'm not the best at editing, but with your support and continuation, we can help change the world. Never let anyone tell you you can't do anything. You can. Guys, I really appreciate it. So, to a good 2014, to a good 5th year on YouTube, to a good year of donating to Alzheimer's research and other charities. I love you all. I know I always make these long, but thank you so much, guys. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.